Please remember to replace the speaker on the post when you leave the theater.
And now, on with the show.
Well, in the last video I told you we're not going to concentrate on this pandemic and corona and stuff, but we are going to talk about some things in between that are kind of important. Some things that, that are just part of the situation that's been going on this. One thing is, we can't go to the movie theater. It's a shame. And, we're seeing that AMC may go bankrupt due to the whole situation. Supposedly IMAX will be strong and be able to handle in the next 2 years, actually, financially, without making any money. So they have a lot of money behind them. But AMC seems to be starting to drift away there, so that's going to be a shame if that happens on there. One thing that has come through, and it looks like we may be getting a renaissance to the situation. Now, we have drive-ins. There's about, in the U.S. right now, 305 drive-ins. Most of them, with the exception of the ones in the New York territory, Pennsylvania, like it's about 5-10% of them, are still operating cross-country. And believe it or not, from some of the figures that have been coming out of them on some of the movies that are playing there, they're doing decently. They're doing very decently. Could this be the new renaissance to return to drive-in theaters? You have to remember one thing, because we have to keep ourselves distance and all that. Being in a car, taking the whole family to the movie, that's basically, as separated as you're going to get, other than if someone goes out to get popcorn or something like that. Or, there's ways around that. You can have what they call a drive-through for the refreshments on there. You get that all in the beginning on there. But, when you look into the situation, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Virginia, Maryland have shut down their drive-ins, which is about 89 drive-ins versus, of the 305. You wonder if they were open, what kind of business they do. And I'll tell you, it's interesting that you hear this, and especially now when all these movies, the James Bond, Black Widow, excuse me. You also, in fact, just recently you had some of the Marvel movies have been pushed back. Venom has been pushed all the way to next summer. That just out recently, which I think that upsetted everybody, because it was supposed to come out in October. And New Mutants has disappeared off the map again. Are we getting that on demand? I don't know. I'm looking into that on there. That movie's has been pushed back so far. I don't know if it'll end up making any money at all. But, I talk about Joe Bob Briggs, and he always says, it's great to go to a drive-in because, you have the experience on there. It's a nice screen. You're comfortable in your own vehicle. It's a fun way to watch a movie, especially getting the whole family together, getting them into a car, and going to the theater. And, you don't have to get out. You just stay in the car, and you watch the movie on there. I remember when I lived in Florida, basically there was one, I forgot, it was the Circus Swap Shop. I think it's Swap Shop or something like that. They had something like 6 or 7 drive-in theaters built on their lot. And and also they had a circus inside. It was like a swap shop type situation. It's on Sunrise Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken, further back, going a little west. And they have a lot of stuff. And like I said, there's a circus inside. I don't know if it's still there. I haven't looked it up in quite some time now. But they had several movies. If you go by them, you turn the radio on, you can catch some of the movies that are playing there. And it was decently crowded most of the time, because there's a lot of tourists, and then you had other people that just lived around there. They went to go see a good movie. Now, could this replace the movie theater? No, not really. I mean, I think there's still an emphasis for people to go to movie theaters these days. Now, it depends on AMC right now, how the theater's going to go. Because if AMC goes the way of the dinosaur, we're going to see some changes that's going to happen. Now, if the drive-ins start to build new drive-ins on there, we're going to see a big boom. I think we're going to see the return to go to a drive-in movie, and we're probably going to see more of a singleplex movie theater. I think if AMC goes down, I'm predicting it's basically we're going to go back to single theaters. Because basically, it's either single theaters or dual theaters. I would have to say to that point. And for the reason is that it costs a lot of money for these theaters to operate. I mean, considering that you're paying for the movies, which are not cheap, and then the concessions and stuff like that. Even though they charge a lot for the concessions, what is it? IMAX movies, $12 to $20, depending on where you go on there, and and the technology keeps changing, so you have to update the technology. From what I'm told, they're starting to use LED screens at the newer drive-ins. They're starting to change over to an LED, so you can watch the movie at any time of the day, which that would be interesting. You don't have to wait till dark. You can go during the day and see the movie, and it'll be nice and clear on there. So, I mean, that's technology that we see coming forward on there. Some places already have, some drive-ins already have that technology put into play. But, we have to see what comes around on this. I mean, we're talking about at least, I would have to say, if we come out of this whole situation, we got another year, I would have to say. And, it'd be nice to get back out again. I mean, for myself, trying to keep exercised up. I only can get out to my front porch or my back porch. That's about it, And, I don't go beyond that. A lot of people around me are wearing masks, and some aren't where I'm at. Like I said, I'm not going to get into the pandemic too much on there. So it's, I don't want to, everybody else is talking about it. So, let's go beyond that. But getting back to this, could we see some big top movies decided to be run at these drive-in theaters? I mean, can they afford it? That means they won't have to jack up their prices, because most drive-in theaters are not that expensive. I think it's under $10, if I'm not mistaken still. They're going to have to go back to sort of movie theater AMC pricing on there, which, in a way will be seen. But like I said, the business is booming. How much can you say? You go to a drive-in and everybody's going to have some fun, especially in this time period right now. And, you realize that we could be seeing a forefront change of the movie theater industry. I mean, already Hollywood is in trouble. And I mentioned this before. If you go back to some of my older videos talking about Hollywood.
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here. And while you relax and stretch, visit our concession where you'll find something to please you. There are ice-cold drinks, delicious sandwiches, ice cream, coffee and snacks, and many other pleasing treats. Our foods are fresh and tasty, our drinks satisfying and refreshing. They're so good.
You get more out of life when you go out to a movie.
But getting back to this, and I totally forgot what I was going to say. But to go on, to see a resurgence of all these movies, and I said before, Hollywood is dying out. And this could be part of the nail in the coffin. I think we're going to see spurts of different kinds of Hollywood throughout the country. Primarily in the East, around the Carolinas, and on the West, around Arizona, because we're seeing some changes on the Netflix. Netflix has a big studio out in Arizona, and we're seeing a resurgence on there. And we're seeing a resurgence back in Canada. I didn't realize this, but there's this TV show that was supposed to be based in Staten Island, What We Do in the Shadows, which is funny. If you haven't caught the series, it's back on again, and it's a funny show. And I realized it's shot in Canada. It's the house that they're on, and it's supposed to be Staten Island. I'm wondering if they do shoot anything on Staten Island. But nevertheless, we're going back to Canada again on a lot of the productions. So we're seeing that, and basically, this is what happens. And Hollywood, California, LA, they're not the way they were. I mean, they got into PC, they got into woke, as they say. A lot of the movies that have come out haven't been that good, and they haven't been profitable. Disney has lost a lot of money. Paramount has lost a lot of money. A lot of other companies. It's not like it used to be. But nevertheless, we'll see what happens with the drive-ins. I mean, it's going to be amazing that if we see a lot of drive-ins open up in the next 3 years, and it may change the forefront. And like I said, it depends on AMC. If AMC goes bankrupt, basically they'll try to rebuild. Or if they go out of business completely, then we'll see a bigger resurgence, a change in the face in the theater. So you tell me in the comments below how you feel about the situation, and don't forget, hit that like, smash that subscription button. Thank you again for tuning in. Like I said, we're trying to get out as many shows as we can, and hopefully you'll have fun with it. My wife has fun with it. She likes watching, even though she doesn't like to be mentioned on there. Same thing with my cats. We try to enjoy ourselves. And, hopefully have a good day. If you take a moment, watch another one of my videos. If not, there are plenty of other videos on YouTube. And, of course, plenty of other videos outside, some good stuff. And we'll be discussing a show on that, what to watch. I know people have been asking that too. What do I watch? Is there anything good, really? I've watched a lot on that. So, until next time, hey, hang in there. All right? Stay healthy. We're all in this together. We're all stuck at home together. And we'll get through it. Have a good one.
Your attention, please. All new hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.